What's up guys, Quick Shift 636 here, and today I'm going to teach you how to drag race your motorcycle. Stay tuned. Now today we're going to be looking at some video clips of my previous races and actually talk about the overall progression from the beginning of drag racing all the way to finally hitting our final number at 10.3 at 136. There's a lot of work involved, a lot of trial and error, and we're going to take the opportunity to look at a few things so you guys, when you start drag racing your bike, you guys know exactly what to look for and what not to do. We're going to make this a little bit of a series. There's a lot to go over, so this is going to be part one. If you guys are unfamiliar with the bike, make sure you go ahead and click up top, see the introduction of the bike first, and then come right back down to this video and then check it out. Stay tuned. Now guys, we're going to be going through and analyzing clip by clip exactly what we were doing at this particular time, what the bike was doing, what we're getting ready for and stuff. So it's a lot of trial and error, man. You know, we're pushing these bikes, trying to make them go faster and just learning along the way. So let's go ahead and get into the first clip. So this particular clip right here is making a test hit at my spot here at Moses Lake, Washington. Going through, getting RPMs up, we launch, and this is a soft launch. And going through the gears and just going through the motion and stuff like that. No burnout, nothing like that. So on this particular run, you know, going through and getting the RPMs up, this is where I'm still learning how to get the RPMs up and where to launch at and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different. And just basically learning what the bike's doing, going in there with no burnout, nothing at all, and just going from a street launch. And as you can see, I'm literally right off the highway. You know, this bike is a street bike, it was a street race bike. So it's going to a spot. So you can see this particular hit, the very, very soft hit, just going through a few of the gears, just making sure everything's all good and stuff like that. So this is just kind of like the first steps as we kept pushing this bike and kept getting ready and kept wanting to make this bike faster. Now this next clip was actually the first event that I ever took the bike out to. This was DTP Race Wars in Washington State. We took the bike out there and performed great. Again, still learning how to launch and stuff. So I'll actually slow this clip down because unfortunately, being by myself there, I can't really record myself. So this is a video that somebody else caught that sent to me. So you know, you can see as I'm going through, you know, making the pass on the bike. You know, we did pull the wind out on the bike, but again, just learning. And this is still before the quick shifter. So this is still power shifting. If you guys are unfamiliar with power shifting, right? It's where you hold full gas, and rather than pulling back on the clutch, you simply rock the throttle forward just enough to release the tension off that fork, that shifter fork, and then you go and stab the next gear and right back on it. So for those of you who are not running a GP style shifter, you guys definitely need to do that. If you're able to run GP style, definitely do that. Of course, that's your reverse rotation, right? So instead of being 1 down, 5 up, right, it's 1 up, 5 down. So rather than going through and, you know, full throttle on the bike and grabbing that next gear and pushing up on it, wanting that bike to lift up, now instead I'm actually pushing down, keeping that bike more stable, keeping that front end planted. And as we're getting faster and faster, you can see where that's becoming more and more issue, having that front end planted. So just little tips again that we learn along the way. Now real quick guys, on part 2, I'll definitely be going in far more in depth of what we got going on with this bike and useful tips and stuff like that. This is just kind of a quick overview. But real quick, have to note, when you're power shifting, you are putting a whole lot of stress on that engine and a whole lot of stress on that transmission. I definitely don't advise doing it. It's very, very hard on your bike. The better way to do it is definitely get yourself a actual quick shifter with either a Pizzazz or using a PC5 to be able to control that. So on my bike, I have a PC5 that has an ignition cut and a fuel cut. So I have an unlock ECU, ignition and fuel cut, and then of course with a quick shifter, just making it easier. So no more of this, you know, rocking the throttle forward, nothing like that. I'm held down the entire time and just simply just stabbing it. So that's the safe way to do it. That's the better way of doing it. So again, I do not advise power shifting because that is very, very hard on your bike and you will tear up your bike if you continue to run like that. But again, that's just what I had to do to learn and get this bike as fast as I could possibly get. Now in this next clip, I'm running against my good buddy Miguel. Unfortunately, Miguel's no longer with us. He lost his life in a freak motorcycle accident by just simply coming home from work. But what I found is that Miguel will always find each other racing each other, whether it's at DTP Race Wars or at Spokane Valley Raceway. Good buddy of mine, and he always made sure that I was always giving my 110% and trying to be better, because for the while there, Miguel was right there with me. And you can see in this particular clip, this is where we really start to find our footing and really push forward. Now note, this is when we actually start to introduce the drag radial more. We always ran with the drag radial. However, this particular one right here, we have our 48 tooth sprocket on that drag rim. We have our drag radial, and I'm actually in the need of a burnout now because we're just launching that hard. So this burnout, a real soft burnout, just enough to clean the rubber, clean that tire, launching around 12 grand because this is the first pass right off the trailer. Typically we're launching at 15 grand at this particular point, not quite 16 on our final run, but again at 12 grand. And you can see here with that PC5 and that quick shifter, them shifts are on point, very, very fast, very, very easy on parts. And again guys, this is what you need to do to be fast and have reliable parts and reliable bikes and not tearing it up all the time. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed taking a look back at some of our previous races and seeing our progression on the bike. In part 2 of this series, I'll go over more in depth with our current setup, bike suspension, free mods, as well as mods to stay away from that will rob horsepower. If this is something that you're interested in, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that like button, and until I see you on the next one, you already know where I'll be, baby. See ya.